Now I'll look at stories across the UK. And Cardiff University has apologised to the family of a student who took her own life hours after being told she'd failed an exam. Pharmacy student Mairead Fuchs from Anglesey received the results email in July 2020, but it didn't take account of her resit, which she had already passed. The university says it will simplify its exams process to leave no room for confusion in the future. Bethan Lewis has this report.
Mairead Fuchs was 21 and in her second year studying pharmacy at Cardiff University. In July 2020, she received an email with results for her course. Later that day, she took her own life. The inquest in October last year said there were lessons for the university. The email Mairead received indicated she had failed an assessment and couldn't move on to the third year. She'd already passed a resit, but under the university's procedures, the resit results wouldn't be ratified until later. Cardiff University's Vice-Chancellor says they've listened to the coroner's concerns, who said the system was complex and confusing.
We accept that there was room for confusion, as the coroner said, in the way that exam results were communicated. We have been doing that for a number of years, but we do recognise that there's an issue there, and we have already corrected that so that it will no longer happen, and exam results will be communicated in a way that leaves no room for confusion in the future.
The university is also reviewing the language and tone used in results transcripts to make them as clear as possible. Have you apologised to the family?
I apologise now, absolutely. I'm deeply sorry for this sequence of events. It's a devastating set of circumstances, and I absolutely understand the family's need for answers to their questions. And I'm very happy, of course, to speak to Mairead's parents if that's what they would like. I will be absolutely guided by them in that matter.
Mairead's parents, Iona and Glyn Fuchs, have said they are sad that it took their daughter's death for changes to be made. They say that all students will benefit from changes and it may even save lives. They said they would have wished for the courtesy and humanity of a personal apology from the university. Changes to the results process in Cardiff will be in place for students this summer. Mairead Fuchs's parents still have unanswered questions. They say they hope the university can make improvements because of Mairead.
Working families in rural Herefordshire are facing a hidden struggle to pay for food and heating amid the cost of living crisis. That's the warning from a community trust, which says that parents who hold down steady jobs are now coming forward in big numbers to seek help. Areas of the county are considered among the top 25% of the most deprived areas of England. Ben Godfrey has been to see how families are coping.
Once again, our smart meter is now showing crosses on both days. We overspend every single day on gas and electricity.
Nicola Kinson is a part-time teaching assistant. She's also studying at university, and she's mum to her children George, Lily and Ben. Her husband Rob works 6 days a week. They're paying out £800 a month to rent in Hereford. Yet despite both of them bringing in a wage, the pressures of rising energy and food bills are limiting other parts of their lives.
Every single thing is budgeted. Food shopping is budgeted weekly because otherwise we can't live. Our rent is astronomical. We don't get any help with that. You know, our council tax is high. We don't get any help with that. And so it's those bills that then you're having to pay more out and you're not getting any support or help.
Official data suggests Herefordshire residents have less than a third of the disposable income of many areas of the UK, while an estimated 1 in 10 children are living in poverty. The Kindle Centre in Hereford is supporting hundreds of families.
We just put it out there and said we're going to be doing these food hampers and these picnic boxes. Most of our customers were working people that I think are suffering, could be the working poor really. They've come to us. I think it's really serious. I think people are very, very worried about it, and I do worry that people are going to end up not putting their heating on to make choices.
In rural areas, access to public transport, to services, to jobs are placing increasing strain on people's lives. Take Bromyard as an example, widely considered to be a prosperous town, yet here there are some of the lowest income levels in the whole country. The government has promised a package of support for many households, including energy bill discounts and council tax rebate.
I think it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get, like, budgeting is, you're going to have to learn more. You know, the government, I think, need to reap the money back from somewhere that coronavirus has cost. And I think that this is the way they're doing it. And I think it's going to continue.
Ben Godfrey, BBC Midlands Today, Herefordshire.
The daredevil street sport known as parkour is being introduced into schools in Gloucestershire in the hope it gets children fitter after lockdown. The latest NHS figures show that 1 in 4 pupils in Year 6 is overweight.
Parkour featured in BBC idents 20 years ago in primary schools.
I actually thought the children might be busy walking on buildings, jumping from one place to another, and could be a health and safety issue. But no, it seems I'm quite wrong.
It is, of course, in primary schools.
I actually thought the children might be busy walking on buildings, jumping from one place to another, and could be a health and safety issue. But no, it seems I'm quite wrong.
It is, of course.
It's really cool. I like it a lot. It's very entertaining.
These trainee teachers at the University of Gloucestershire will use parkour to change how PE is taught in schools.
There's no right answer. There's always a different way of looking at a movement problem or getting over an obstacle. So that can work for lots of different types of children with lots of different abilities and body shapes.
The university says change is needed because in England, among pupils aged 10 and 11, more than a quarter are now overweight or obese. And that's up 4.5% on the previous year. They say the pandemic and a cut in school sport hours are to blame.
Children who rely on the school for PE and their exercise have had their opportunities reduced, and so they've had less time to exercise. And even with schools going back, the curriculum's being squeezed, there's pressure more on the academic subjects, and PE is not being given what I think should be the priority.
Parkour's just been introduced at this primary school, and it's part of a new once-a-week 15-minute high-intensity lesson.
This helps get their physical fitness up and also helps with those coordination skills that maybe they've been missing whilst they've been sat at home.
The government wants to halve childhood obesity by 2030. A ban on adverts for junk food after 9 p.m. and a ban on junk food promotions are promised, but are facing some criticism from MPs now that household budgets are being squeezed. Scott Ellis, BBC Points West.
Well, Tim Wilcox will be here with you from 2 o'clock. Now, though, it's time to look at the latest weather forecast with Susan Powell.